Hi Team Gerwell, you are flipping in fifth with me, Mrs. G. Today we're going to be talking about Topic 8, Lesson 6, and our learning target is I can determine a rule and write an expression using multiplication or division. Yesterday we did the same exact thing except we used addition and subtraction. Today we're going to use multiplication or division. So our vocabulary is exactly the same as yesterday. You don't need to write it down, but we're going to go through and see if we remember what they are. An algebraic expression, remember that contains a variable, that's a letter, numbers, and at least one operation, and we don't solve an expression. A pattern is something that two or more algebraic expressions have in common. Remember, it has to have at least two in order for it to be a pattern. Here's today's problem of the day. Julia and Ella are making bracelets to sell at Winter Wonderland. When Julia made 6, Ella made 18. When Julia made 12, Ella had made 36. So if the table continues, how many bracelets will Ella make when Julia makes 20? Well, our task here is to look at this table and find the rule and complete the table. So what does the top line represent? The top line represents the number of bracelets Julia makes, and the bottom line represents the number of bracelets Ella makes. So how do we find the rule? Well, remember, just like we did yesterday, we're going to see if we can figure out what is going on in our table. So if we go from 6 to 18, we know we could be adding 12, or we could do something else. That's right, we could be multiplying by 3. Because 6 times 3 equals 18, and 6 plus 12 also equals 18. So let's do the next one to see if we can start finding a pattern. 12 to 36, we would need to add 24. But 12 times 3 equals 36. So do we have a pattern because we have two things in a row that are doing the same thing? We do, but let's go ahead and check and see here. 14 to 42. Well, that would be adding 28. So we know addition is not our rule. But we do know that 14 times 3 equals 42. So our pattern is going to be that times 3. That's going to be our rule. Multiply times 3, and our expression is going to be J for Julia. And then in parentheses, we're going to put the 3. If we did J and then the times sign and 3, it would be okay. But remember, we talked about how we try really hard not to use the multiplication sign because you might mistake it for the variable x. So instead, by putting something in parentheses right next to the variable, it shows us multiplication. But if you put J times 3, I'll go ahead and accept that as a correct answer. So when we solved for it, we know that here, 20 times 3, our answer is going to be 60. So when Julia makes 20 bracelets, Ella will have made 60. So here's another one. How can Kira use a rule to help write an expression and find the number of cards in 4 boxes? Let B equal the number of boxes. So we're going to do the same thing that we did before, and we're going to look and see, okay, for 1 box, there are 15 note cards. For 2 boxes, there are 30. For 3 boxes, there are 45. So what kind of expression would you write to show how many cards, note cards, are in 4 boxes? Remember to show B as your number of boxes. If you decided that the rule would be what? Well, to get from 1 to 15, we would add 14, but we can also multiply by something. That's right, we could multiply by 15 and still get 15. 1 plus 14 equals 15, but 1 times 15 also gives us 15. So let's look and see if we can find a pattern. 2 to 30. Well, you would add 28, so we know that that's not our pattern. But could we multiply by 15? 2 times 15, does that equal 30? It does. So let's see if it continues as we go down our pattern here. So 3 to 45, 3 times 15 equals 45. So we now know that our rule is going to be multiply by 15. So in order to solve for it or write an expression, we would do 4 times 15, which equals 60. So when we solve it, we know for 4 boxes, there are 60 note cards. Your expression in this case would be B times 15. Now you try. Here are tonight's practice problems, and just like last night, there were too many, so each of them is just going to fit on the screen. So you're going to go through and write the rule and expression for this one, pause the video, and come back when you're ready. Coming back in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The rule here is multiply by 6, and the expression would be n times 6, or n with the 6 in parentheses. Here's your next one. Pause the video and come back when you're ready for the answer. Coming back in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The rule here would be divide by 4, and the expression will be q divided by 4. Here's number 3. Pause the video and come back when you're ready. Coming back in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Our rule here is multiply by 7, and if we were to solve, it is going to be 70. Here is the number 4, not the last one, sorry, we have 5 tonight, but you're going to find the rule and solve for this one as well. Go ahead and pause the video and come back when you're ready. Coming back in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The rule is S divided by 5, and when we solve, the answer is 9. And here is our last one. In science, we learned that kudzu grows 12 inches every day. So how tall will kudzu be on the 6th day? Create a table to help you write this expression. Pause the video and come back when you're ready. Coming back in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The expression in this case would be D times 12, and if you went ahead and solved it, on the 6th day, kudzu is going to be 72 inches tall. Go ahead and make sure that you checked your work and you wrote down how many you got correct. Honestly, fill out the self-reflection. Could you teach a friend, or are you still confused? And fill in that space for any questions you might still have. I sure hope you enjoyed writing expressions and finding rules with multiplication and division. I will help you more tomorrow if you're still a little bit confused. See ya. Have a good night.